Oh, there was a secret chord. You just try it with one song. Suspensions. Let's do some triplet fillers. There's already triplets. So change the time feel. Floating thirds. Na 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 na. Goes like this the more you don't care for music too. Yeah. Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the manifold, all the major live, and so on. And secondary dominance. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And then some colors. Hallelujah. Those sevenths and ninths. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And what a nice cadence there with that plagal thing. So in this idea for enriching a chord progression, what I propose you to do would be to actually change what I call as the time feel at the end of the bar of the chord. So if you take an F major chord, you're playing it in a very simple pulse-like manner with quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Really simple. You're adding that 8th note ghosting here. So it sounds very much like you're dividing the beat by 2. But maybe at the end of the bar, you could create some interest by adding a triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And if you can maintain the 8th note here, I know it's a bit tricky, but it sounds nice. It's a nice polyrhythm. Again, when the melody line is chilling out at the end. So na 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 na, changing the bass. Na 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 de 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 do. You could even do like a nice melodic climb, you know. Na 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 do do. Na 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 na. Da 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 da. Na 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 do. Na 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 na. So that's a nice way to make things interesting for the listener over a song. You can do this with any song, you know, like Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. It's a bit tricky to play and sing, but you get the idea. Moving forward, guys. Right, so the next idea I have for you to enrich a chord progression is using what I call as floating thirds. So if you take a chord like E flat major, or let's take A flat major, which is... So at a given point in time, you're playing just a single A flat major there. Now, if this is the tonic chord of the A flat major scale, or if it's any chord of A flat major scale, what you could do, you could get or populate the thirds of that particular scale, which are there we go. You can also see the notes which we have for you. Sa ga re ma ga pa ma dha pa ni da sa ni re sa. Those are your swaras. So you build all your thirds, which I am showing you on the piano. And now you need to weave this in as a passing movement within the chord. So if you take A flat major in this inversion, now where are your thirds? C to E flat is a third. So you can just play like that. So A flat major normal, and then come down to B flat, D flat, which is its next third. That's also a third. You can do this stream of thirds creatively as you wish while you're playing any of the chords of the progression. In this case, I'm just showing you with A flat major. Let's say you're going to the relative minor, F minor. You can make that F minor sound even more darker and sadder and more sorrowful. B flat minor. ABBA does this a lot. Just jamming here. Stick with the key. The key itself gives you a lot of harmony. So you'd really want to embellish your chords with all these scenarios which we've discussed so far, primarily when your chord is lasting a bit longer. So in this case, I made it last at least 4 counts or 8 counts. So we used A flat. You could use any chord progression really. These are just approaches to enrich an existing chord progression without, doing a lot of fancy stuff. You're not like really changing the chord. It's still A flat major or F minor or whatever. You're just doing something during the journey where that chord goes to the next chord. Let's move forward. Right, so the next style of chord embellishment actually adds another chord in between the two chords you have under question. So for example, if you have E major going to B major, or E major going to G sharp minor, or E major going to C sharp minor, we'll break this all down. In the notes, we'll try and write down everything, every possibility from E major, but just to give you a glimpse of what you can do. So let's say you have the chords E major going to its relative minor. What is the relative minor of E major? The 6. So it goes to C sharp minor. So just E major going to C sharp minor. Now the journey from there. Yes, it may alter your melody a bit, but it's a great connector. So what did I do there? I did the secondary dominant chord of the target C sharp minor. These are chords which come out of the scale a fifth from the target. C sharp's fifth is G sharp. So you do the dominant 7th chord, which really locks to the C sharp minor, and it goes to C sharp minor. So E major going to C sharp minor. More interestingly, E major going to the C sharp minor. So if you map out your secondary dominant chords, I would encourage you to write it down neatly. Stare at it a bit before you actually start playing it. So write it before you play, and you'll realize that between E and C sharp minor you have that A flat 7th which can take you there. So you can also go to all the other chords. Let's try and go from the 1 major to the 2 minor, which is F sharp minor. What is F sharp's 5th? C sharp. So you do D flat 7th going to F minor. One more time. Normally you would have done but more interestingly, yes, it will alter your tune a bit, but that may be interesting. You may get some new spice to your melody as well. Now let's try and find the secondary dominant of the 3 minor, which is G sharp minor. That particular thing happens to be E flat dominant, and then goes to G sharp minor. Sounds nice, doesn't it? It helps you with your melody as well, I think. Similarly, you can do like very Queen, where you go to the 4 via the 1 dominant. There we go. You can go to the 5. That's your F sharp dominant. Then I showed you relative minor. And you don't really have a secondary dominant for the diminished chord, because the diminished chord is already unstable. So why take something unstable and go again to something unstable? That feels rather logically wrong. So that's about secondary dominance, a really nice way to embellish your chords. Let's move on to the last style which I have for you in this lesson on embellishing your chord progressions. So the whole process about extensions and additions, as I'm calling it, is take the chord, figure out what you can extend. So you can go 7th, you can go 9th, you can go like a 11th, you can go like a 13 or a 6, 9, flat of something, sharp of something. So these are all the tensions or the extensions which you can add to a chord. So if you know those things, well and good. So I've covered 8 ways, if I'm not mistaken, in this lesson to enrich a chord progression. Let's just have a nice recap over everything. And just to make the recap a bit interesting without me talking too much, let me play something and just show you and just call it out whenever I'm doing that particular thing, and we'll try and do it as ad-lib or as improvised freely as possible. Just follow along. This lesson is not to give you a specific thing to do, but more on the approaches you have to make your chords a lot more spicier. That was your suspension. Sus2, sus2, sus4. Then you can do your cadences, as we talked about, which are like a 4 going to 1. You can make it like Elton John, like all over E flat, if you like that, minor going to major. And then we looked at some arpeggios. E flat, played 3 times, arpeggio, change the chord up. So basically at the end of the bar, you add this arpeggio, which are the notes of the chord just played in a 1 by 1 manner. Then we did some passing melodic options. Something like to lead you to the next chord. Not invading the singer's territory. You could even just climb to the chord, like so that's your passing notes. Then we did bass. So climb to the next chord's root. Then we looked at time feel, adding some kind of a triplet at the end, right? So a triplet melodically at the end, or just an arpeggio chord of the chord. Then we looked at floating thirds. So over the E flat major chord, you have all your thirds, diatonic thirds in the vicinity of the chord you're playing. All are part of the E flat major scale. It could inspire your melody. Makes the chord a lot more interesting. Could add some rhythm to that. That's floating thirds. Then you could add some secondary dominants, which are chords inside the two chord movements. So E flat going to the relative minor, which is C minor. So going to C minor, or you come back to E flat, A flat. Then I want to go to F minor, which is the 2 minor, F minor, G minor. So just practice your secondary chords. And lastly, guys, we added these extensions, making it very ambient. So this is how you enrich a chord progression. I hope I've demonstrated quite a few effective strategies. For those of you who are new to the piano, I apologize. You need to watch some of our other lessons which start things off at a more beginner or foundational level. This is more for folks who know their major and minor chords with a little bit of inversions and have played a little bit of piano before. Okay, if you are new to the thing, if you're finding it tough, I hope it at least inspired you. That was also my hope. And hope you can do a lot of work, create a lot of music, and sound a lot more pro and a lot more creative on the piano and very different, especially in a world of programmed sounds where everything is, created on a computer. You just download things from the internet, drag it, drop it into Logic or whatever. These are the things which piano players are generally fighting to overcome these days. So what better way to do it than to just play in a lot more human way? Right, guys? Again, this is Jason here from Nathaniel School of Music. Thanks so much for watching this video, and consider supporting our channel on Patreon. We have all the notes for this lesson ready and waiting for you, and also for the upcoming lessons and everything we have ever done in the past as well. And if you'd like to learn something with us, with our school, we have courses, we have workshops, we have lessons of various kinds. We also have structured video recordings, which we call as video courses, which we have on our website. So you may want to go to nathanielschool.com if you want to interact with us, learn with us in person, and learn pretty much whatever you want to learn, whether it's vocals, guitar, or the piano, at whichever skill level. I hope to see you in the next video as well. You will definitely see me in the next one, I guess. And share the video with your friends. Do give it a like, do give it that thumbs up thing. Leave us a comment with something you'd like to do in the future. And if you haven't already, I will find you if you don't hit that subscribe button. I will really find you. Please hit that subscribe button. There's a bell also. Hit that bell icon. It really helps our channel grow. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye.